Victor, what's up? Hi. Happy Saturday. Oh my, I have morning voice. I didn't talk a lot this morning. Oh, I gotta warm up. But hello, good morning. Timbuka. I like your name. Hi, thank you. That's a very good name. Oh, thank you. We're using two mics. That's it. But I appreciate that. From Chile. Wow, that's amazing. You should check out. I was just on his stream yesterday. He got a new mix from Nolly, a great musician, producer, engineer. But check this guy out. Tim, hold on. Let me try to do it. He's got a great mix too. I think that's his name. His name's Craig. I think it's Renlord. I hope I'm spelling that right. But he's got a great stream too. Great sounding mix. But yeah. Hello. Josh, hello. Badoom, 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 badoom. That's weird, Josh. That's a little weird. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Tim, what was I gonna say? The what do you call it? His stream is different than this. His is like metally, but it sounds really good. He's a good dude, great player. But definitely check him out. Working on triplets today in rolls. This is getting a lot better, but we've been struggling with this for like a week now. But we're going to move on to sevens today, but I want to just brush up a little bit. Blackberry, good morning. Oh, all right. Whew. These are still so foreign. I've been really working on these a lot, and they still feel so weird. You know, it's fun and exciting, but just conquest today, and that's what dudes sitting around doing. They're on these. Oh, that guy. I don't know. I got rid of that guy. I don't want to hear about that. You know, like I'm good. I'm good. Hello on YouTube. Hello. It's nice to see you. Good morning.
Yeah, it's so sloppy. All right.
My hands are cold, but that's not a good excuse. All right, we'll get this. We'll get this. One till hello. Ooh, sloppy rolls, sloppy rolls. It's bad. Sloppy roll, sloppy roll. It's an unreleased Adam Sandler song. Oh, Terry, what's up? Hello. Oh, we're getting these today. I'm good. I got this. Jerry, let's go. That's huge. Congratulations. Which one did you get? That's awesome. Let's go. Let me know if you have questions. That's so exciting. GG's, right? Is that what the kids say? GG's? I'd love to know which one you got. That's exciting. A Zildjian? Nice. Is it squishy or rubbery? They're both good. Zildjian makes good stuff. But that's so exciting. I have the Zildjian Reflex one, and I have a Zildjian rubber one. So they're both good. It's a galactic. Right on, right on. So you got a bouncy one. It's exciting. 12 inch, yeah, that's all you need. That's perfect. Some of the smaller ones are like, after you hit them, they wobble, and they're kind of annoying because you're like, stop moving. But 12 is perfect. That's awesome. Oh, let's go. Collapse. Man, my hand, it's cold here today. I gotta warm up. It's not even like cold. It's just, I gotta warm up. These rolls they're just getting me. I haven't used it. I feel guilty. Oh, it's okay. Get an online metronome. Yeah, or like there's apps, free metronome apps. Yeah, 100%. Start with just learning like stickings, right? So if you go online, type in 40 rudiments, and there should be a PDF. Like it's the standard 40 rudiments. Just download that and start messing around. Awesome. Do you have sticks? That probably helped as well. You're like, oh yeah, probably get some sticks. We love it. All right. 5 Bs. Nice. That's perfect. Oh, you're going to have a blast. But yeah, download. Just type in metronome app, and whatever one's free. Don't get a paid one. You don't need that. And then, just Google 40 rudiments. And I know for a fact, Vic Firth has a page, a big download thing. Vader always had one. Pretty much all the drum companies have or all the stick companies have like a PDF, like to download. Yeah, just look those. Just look it up. But yeah, and then you just download it. You can put it on your computer, your phone, or print it out. But that's where I would start. Respect to Vic Firth. Respect to Vic. Did you know Vic Firth is owned by Zildjian? Fun fact. Zildjian bought Vic Firth back. Man, I don't even know now. It's all kind of a blur, but I think at least for like 10 years. Finger, good morning. Yeah, that explains a lot. Yeah, it's funny. The only stick company left that isn't owned by like another company is Vader. ProMark is owned by Diodario, which makes Evans, all kinds of stuff. They make like strings, humidifiers, all like a million kind of stuff. But Vader is the only independent stick company out of the big players like ProMark, Vic, and Vader. So yeah, but Finger, I hope you're having a good morning. Recommend yeah, they're all great. Honestly, Vic stuff, Vader, ProMark. I feel like I'm forgetting. Meinl's got some nice sticks now. It's all great wood, but the only difference is like how the companies finish the sticks. So like the lacquer or lack of lacquer, that's what separates them. So all the sticks are kind of the same. There's like a 5B is pretty much the same size across all of them, but it's like how they finish them and how they feel. It's like guitar necks. Some companies, there's a difference between a Fender neck and a Les Paul. Obviously size, but like the finish that they use, like it's interesting. Some people just like certain feels of sticks. I'll have to buy an old man glasses. Dude, I gotta go get new glasses, Finger. I always just re-up my contacts prescription, and then I'm left with like my glasses I got the year we got married. So my glasses prescription is like so old. You need progressives. Oh no. Oh no. Those are hard, right? Like to get used to. I don't know. I think they're better than they used to be though. I know, Cherry, I know. I gotta do it. I just hate going to the doctors or the eye place or the dental place. And our insurance covers like a certain amount of money towards glasses or contacts. It's not both. Well, our old insurance. We got a new insurance now. It's pretty good. I could go get glasses whenever I want. In all honesty, right now, I could go whenever I want. It's a new year. But I'm lazy. I don't want to go. I'm just going to wait. I'm waiting until my glasses break, but they're so like good. They're so hardcore. So I don't want to go. They're like, pick out a pair of glasses. Finger, this is going to be you in a second. And you're going to be like, they all look the same. They're all the same glasses. It's like, oh, don't get mad at me, but it's like a wall of sneakers, Like people I know love sneakers, but for those of us who aren't really into sneakers, it's like they all look like shoes to me, and they all look like glasses. All wine tastes the same, but then talk about drums, and I'm like, oh my God, this drum is completely different than that one. So I don't know. Can't be bothered. I just want to go in and be like, I don't know that one. Oh, we actually don't have that anymore. Okay, that one. Oh, well, that one's actually only... Just give me glasses. It's always a thing, It's always a thing. You can always just replace the insides. I don't know. These are pretty old. They might be like, yeah, no, they don't make those anymore. With peanut butter and give them to the dog. They'll probably break it. No, Blackberry. Oh, I wish I had them here. I should take a picture of my glasses. When Toby was a puppy last summer, or God, 2 summers now, the kids were in North Carolina with Mrs. Drumstone, and when I brought Toby home that first week, I slept down. I brought a mattress down into like the downstairs so he could sleep down there and not be like scared. And I woke up and I heard like, and Toby was like chewing on my glasses, and I got a bunch of puppy Toby teeth marks all over my glasses. So I still wear them, and I'm like, yeah. I just don't care. I don't care. But I should probably go get new ones. So they do have puppy teeth scratches in them, So they're not even real glass. Who knows what they are? I'm waking up. Oh. All right. Here we go. Back at it with those white Vans, right? That's what I need. I need some white Vans. What color is that drum? Black? Yeah, it's called Black Slate. These aren't going to line up because I changed things. Maybe it will. Definitely not. Definitely didn't line up. I got to fix that. But it's Black Slate. Durability over fashion. That's right. That's right. Yeah. I just saw like a funny meme or whatever. It's like you truly don't care about when the way you look when you start wearing Costco pants, and I was like, nice. I've been there for a long time. I wear Costco flannels and Costco shirts. I do need new jeans though. So I don't know if you can see this. My wife watches the stream and she laughs at me. From drumming, right? Like having my hands here, all my jeans are worn right here. Like they've got, like, I don't know if you could tell, but they're totally just paper thin. My wife's like, you need new jeans. I'm like, no, I'm good. I've had these for over 10 years, maybe. Yeah, 10 years, maybe. Probably no, a little over 10 years. And some of them are real bad, like real bad. I don't know if you ever look at on stream, you just see it like, my wife's like, you need new jeans. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And I go around here. Let me see if you can see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but Toby ate my shoe. Yeah, it's probably not in focus, but so like my shoe's all eaten up. I'm truly at that point in my life. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to play drums. Play drums, drink coffee, sleep, and then die. Right, Blackberry? Flight cases, yep. Toppers. Hi, it's good to see you again. We're getting jazzy today, yeah. We're kind of brushing up a little bit of those 5 strokes, and then we're going to go into 7s today, I think. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to do a couple things, and I'm working on the cymbals just because I want to clean them up a little bit. But, yeah, we're working. We're working. It's good to see you again. Hello. Hello. The reverb is off, I believe. Yeah, Blackberry, I watch everything back. I know, I have no life. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like when you're practicing in the moment, sometimes you don't really hear your mistakes, and you gotta watch it back to really take note. So yeah, trying to really clean them up. Part of what I'm doing today is what I noticed. The biggest hang up with my 5-stroke rolls and roughs is my left hand, right? So even like playing the 5-stroke rough, the single, right? I'm limited to how fast I could play a clean triplet. So like listening back, really like trying to find those moments where it's like, all right, so I get it, this isn't good, but why isn't it good? And watching it back is really helping me like hear and see a lot of the imperfections. I lowered the ride a little bit too, just a hair. I did that yesterday. I didn't stream yesterday, but I practiced a lot yesterday in the morning, and just honestly, I'm trying to get better with faster traditional grip. Like we just started doing traditional grip in the summer, and I've been playing with a lot of stuff back here, and it's okay, but really fast traditional grip, I got to start utilizing these up here. So I'm trying to bring in my fingers around, right, and really so that's what we're doing, is like trying to like just really tighten this up and really get working on like the bounce and fingers of traditional grip, because that's tempos with this stuff is definitely a big hang up. Oh, Cindy is amazing. Cindy is one of the best drummers on the planet, hands down. She is like she's like the Tony Williams of, I don't know, like she's so powerful and like rough, but also smooth and just beautiful at the same time. Cindy's amazing. She's wonderful. Reaching a little for the ride a couple days or so the way it makes up. Yeah, we're it's always changing, right? Showed me her the other. Yeah, she's fantastic. She is like legit amazing. But let's see. Blackberry, I also moved it in a little bit. I did have it like way over here, so, but that felt more natural because I'm so used to playing like arm out and crazy. But I'm starting to get more like just relaxed and cozy here. So yeah, well, it'll be back tomorrow. Who knows? My Ford rested. I'm trying to think of a Pantera song. Oh my gosh! Zach would be upset with me. I have a Metallica song in my head. I can't think of what's the one song. Do 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 do. Something like that. Just us. All right. Flying to Tom's. Oh, that's kind of cool. What? Austin, good morning. Hi, I hope you're having an amazing day. Good to see you. This is Neil Peart.
That's good.
I'm trying to think, was this the end of the 5-stroke roll thing? Was there more? There's more. I think there was more. There is. Let me see. Oh man. We'll get to the sevens, I promise. We'll get there. Kids are back. I hear them. I hear them. It's like a stampede. Drum Wizard. Oh my gosh, 14 months. Hi. Thank you. Happy Saturday. It's great to see you. Sorry, I would invest them into I would invest them. I don't know what this person's talking about. Pantera? Like, did we talk about Pantera? They remind me of the person I meet at like a party once they find out I'm a drummer. They're like, oh yeah, Neil Peart, right? Yeah, right, John Bonham. You're like, yeah, wow, cool. But I would invest them into some cryptocurrency, you know? What was that one that just tanked? What's that company? N something? God, those crazy people down in the Bahamas, in Florida. I forget what it was called. I don't know. I don't know. I think if you got into like cryptocurrency like a long time ago, maybe you bought Bitcoin for like $1, you know, then maybe that's cool. But all the people that are getting on board now, it's like the boat is so gone. It's like it's left. There is no like get rich quick things now. It's like people that are like, I'm gonna invest in Apple. It's like, dude. You got a long way to go. But if you invested in Apple like a while ago, yeah, cool. But like it's too late. You got to find the things that are about to pop off, you know? But yeah, take all the channel points, invest them in FTX. You'll double your channel points, guys. I promise. Every day, yeah. Still hitting every day. I'm like, yeah. I don't know. I don't really see it being a thing anytime soon. Maybe later on down the line, but you know. Children are right above us. Kids. Oh my God, they're the worst. Just got a gig the 16th of February. Play you gotta play on a cajon or an actual cardboard box or a suitcase. Oh my god, what are they doing up there? They're right above us, and this microphone points at me, but it also points behind it, right? It's a shotgun microphone, so they pick up. It's like a foot away from the ceiling, so you're getting all the some online poker using Dan's ghost notes. That's right. Online poker. Oh. That's so exciting though. From Denmark. Yeah. Oh man, that's so cool. What kind of gig is it? I don't want to know what's going on up there. Oh my god. Oh, the walls. Oh. That's why I'm not painting. I'm not doing anything nice to this house for at least another 5-10 years. That's exactly why. Like, why paint? Why put in new nice floors? Why? What's the point? They're just gonna like destroy it. We don't really even hang like pictures on our walls because they fall down and people come over like, you don't really have pictures on the walls. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not happening. Nope, nothing nice in this house. We got since we're talking about crypto and stuff, legit. Sorry, I read that for a second. I'm like, yo, dude, you bought actual gold? You got it in the mail? Like, just send it, FedEx it. That stuff is good. The Aztec gold. Yeah, they're at that age. Yeah, they're just. My wife went to the store, and they have Christmas monies, so they got to go to the store to buy treats with their mom. So I'm sure they're loaded up on God knows what, you know. So it's kind of funny. It's for safety, right, Bach? How are you? It's good to see you. No, they're good boys. They play, you know. I'd rather them go around just playing wrecking the house than just sitting around being like staring at an iPad or whatever, you know. Like they legit are they're being kids, and that's what it's about. If I know for a fact if I put in like new flooring and painted and made the house look really nice, repainted all the trim and made it look nice, I would just always be like, oh, you're gonna scratch the wall, oh, don't touch that. Now I'm just like, whatever. We'll worry about it later. Just they're boys, you know. They're not thinking like that. They're just playing. So yeah, if you come to our house, you'll be like, oh my God, what happened here? We have like moments we have once a week where they clean and it looks nice. You're like, oh my God, this is great. But yeah, every other, how many hours in a week? How many thousand? But it's good. Guys, don't move. They may have moved on. They just go from room to room, building forts, destroying that fort, moving on to another room to build a fort. And then eventually the stairs get covered in things and you can't even go up the stairs, and they make traps. It's like they got Nerf guns. All the closets are like little ammo dumps. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I just go up and I'm like, I have coffee. That's all I say. That's the famous words in the house. I have coffee, which means don't shoot me. Don't hit me with a pillow. Don't try to tackle me. You know, don't run by me. That's the magic words. I'm like, I have coffee. Or if I'm at the couch with coffee and they come in, jump in, and I'm like, I have coffee. I probably say that 1,000 times throughout the day. What kind of mansion do you live in? Blackberry, can I tell you just a funny story? The house, I'll try to make it quick. Basically, me and my sister were like 2-3 years old. We were living in an old farmhouse. It had a dirt foundation and everything. It was a very old home, but it was a farm. It was really nice. My parents bought it, and my dad's planned to fix it up over the years. But we were little. We were like 2-3, and we kept getting pneumonia and getting sick. I still have bad asthma, and we were in the hospital a lot with pneumonia. And the doctor's like, it's probably that house. It's like got mold and, you know, it's all old. And my mom was like, we're moving. Like my mom was like, we're out of here. So my dad, in a month, built the house that I grew up in, right? And like him, Elmer Smales, and Donnie Williams. Donnie used to smoke like the whole time. I remember when they were building the house, I was like 5, and I used to go play while they were building it. I just remember him just nonstop smoking. So yeah, Donnie Williams, Donnie Smales, not Donnie Smales, Elmer Smales, Donnie Smales was my bus driver. That was his brother. So Elmer and Donnie Williams and my dad built the house I grew up in like in basically a month, right? So we were in like real quick, but we didn't have molding until I want to say like 10 years ago, because my dad was like, I'm gonna make the molding out of wood from our forests, from trees that fell down. And my mom was like, oh my god, just put a molding. So we always had duct tape molding. True story, all through high school. And it was like this running joke with family members and friends, like, oh my god, he still hasn't put up the molding. And every year my mom would put up fresh new duct tape, right? So it's pretty funny that you mentioned that. But now there's really nice molding. Like, my dad did it. He finally did it, but he was like, I was busy. But it was, I don't know, we moved in there in 1987, I think. And it was probably, 20 years later, probably. I don't know that it actually went up. And he put it up in like a day. It wasn't even like a hard thing. He's like, oh, he just, he cut it, he planed it and did all this stuff. And it looked really nice. He's sealed it all and then it was up. And he was like, there you go. My mom's like, you could have did that so quick a long time ago. He's like, I was busy. Right? So yeah, gonna make the trim for my own trees. My great-grandfather's cabin was built in 1916. Just got its molding a couple of years ago. Right? I think like after you build a whole house, you're like, do we really need to do this? Like, you just don't want to do anymore. Like, you're just like, I'm done. I'm good. And you know what I'm saying? Alpha, hello. Deputy, hello. Cuffham, hi. Leo, good morning. Hello, or afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are. So yeah, I resonate with, you have molding? I used to go to my friends' houses and like they had like really nice, like they had their walls were different colors, and I was like, Mom, why don't we paint our house different colors? And Mom was like, your father was done after like the white. He was like, no, we're not, we're done. He was so over it. All the logs got stripped and resealed, so might as well trim her. Ooh, nice. That's probably an amazing cabin. Amazing. But thank you for that raid. I hope you had a great stream. That's super nice. We're working on 5-stroke rolls still, and we're gonna go into 7s today. That's the plan. They look scary. Oh boy, they look real scary. Yeah, we're getting there. 5 in the afternoon, right on. Well, I hope you had a good lunch, and I hope you're about to eat an amazing dinner. I don't know what we're doing for dinner. Seriously. We don't have a lot. We got beef. That's about it. Got a lot of beef. But what else do you need, right? All right, let's work on this. I really liked this the other day. We started doing it that. So we're gonna bring that over to the cymbals. The quality here is me. Oh, thank you, Para. Hello. Yeah, my name is Dan. This is my drum room, and we're practicing jazz, trying to get better at it. I thought I was getting an ad. Oh, wow. If you buy now, you get the other knife for free and free shipping. Call now. All right, here we go. We'll get this. We'll get it. I think that's an Up, right? When the old man is watching TV and it's, what's his name? The actor, he's so great, but he's like, if you call now, You get the thing, and you get the thing. Remember Mr. Fredrickson's like chilling in his chair, falling asleep at night. It's those ads. I love that movie. It's so good. Daniel and Cal, hello. It's good to see you. Never ending story. I like rolls. It's like that corn kid, right? That's like, it's corn. It's rolls. They're good, man. Good. Oh, warm rolls with butter. Ooh, and that honey. Oh, biscuits are better than rolls. I'll just say that. We should be playing biscuits, not rolls. Biscuits are amazing. Oh, salt and butter. Oh, let's go. Biscuits. 100%. Daniel, my man. Yeah, biscuits and gravy. Amazing. Chicken fried steak, biscuits and gravy, steak and eggs, and well, it depends on if the hash browns are made right, they're good. Home fries might be better. Depends on where you go, you know, the potato selection. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now, or instead of paying bills, you could, I don't know, like go on the PlayStation Store, or like Steam, or like, I don't know, like you could go online, buy some prizes for yourself, you know, treat yourself. Don't treat the bill company. I'm saying that I just paid bills too. It sucks, man. Oh, I paid home insurance yesterday. Don't get a house. It's just you just throw money at it. Bills suck. Yeah. So, or I could pay this bill, or hi Zach, hello. I don't want to struggle. I will say this though, Cherry. I would own over renting a million %. LA, that's all I did was rent until we bought our house. And I'll tell you what, I'm not saying renting is like throwing money away, but the cost of rent nowadays, I guess depending on where you live, it's like it's cheaper in the long run and more beneficial to have a home, you know, because the equity, baby. That's, you know, that was huge when we left California. Oh my God. Like going from there to Pennsylvania after we sold our house there, you know, like we bought it here, it went up to here, we sold it, and then the homes were over here in Pennsylvania. Like we were like, holy crap. We were rich for a little bit, right? So I rented for a long time, and you don't get any of that money back, you know. But on the plus side of renting, yeah, you don't have to worry about, you know, fixing things, you know, or whatever, putting a new roof on or stuff. But at the same time, you're dependent, and it's not sure if it's stable. You know, that's with kids. I'm like, I can't rent, you know, a house, and then like we're moving every other couple years. I find owning a house is cheaper. It didn't help though that my house, which is custom built, costs. Yeah, yeah. It's like it's crazy how much the house that we lived in California. Like I check Zillow now, it's like $900,000 for it's a ranch home like built in the '60s, and we bought it. It was like I think we paid like $2 something for it, and it's like nuts. It's crazy. Something's gonna pop here, I guess, but yeah, for what certain things are worth. So in the long run, I think it's cheaper too in the long run. What's your favorite drumstick? I love these. I love Vader. I mean, I just like the finish on the Vader sticks, toppers. I don't know. They don't feel as lacquery. The whiskers, I do. Yeah, I got them right here. The brushes. The instability. Yeah, wood's expensive right now. Yeah. Everything's expensive, you know? Might do a manufactured home. Yeah. The thing is now, like, it's not so much like where I live right now. I have a couple friends who are building a home right now here in Pennsylvania. Like you have to drill a well, get septic and all that stuff out here. We're not in the city, so you have to kind of make your own utilities. Hi, Mike. And one of my friends is waiting a year for a large septic tank for his house. He's making a big house. It's like almost 5,000 square foot. It's huge. It's going to be gorgeous. But I'm like, dude, that's crazy. A septic tank that big, and you got to like, his driveway's like a mile long. It's crazy. So like the house itself isn't what's expensive. It's like blowing all the rock up with dynamite for the foundation, septic, drilling the well, making the driveway. doing drainage. It's crazy. Crazy, running up all the electric stuff, the cable, the phone from, the lines. That's what's the most expensive thing. It's gonna be a really nice house, though. Like, really nice. I think he's nuts. You want to hear the crazy thing? He's building it himself. And fun fact, if you build your own house, you can't get in a mortgage because it's not built by a licensed contractor. So he's paying for it up front, everything out of cash. Which actually makes the price of building go like down like 60%, 70%. He's like, oh my God, it's so much cheaper. But he's got to pay for it himself. But he's a really good carpenter. He knows what he's doing. But if you can't get a mortgage unless you have a builder that's certified, build it, because the bank is going to give you that money. They want it to be good, which makes sense, right? So yeah, it's pretty nuts. Fun fact, he's crazy because he works like 80 hours a week and he's gonna build his own house. I'm like, dude, I don't want to help you. If it was like, hey, can you help me come over and build this chicken coop? I'd be like, dude, yeah, let's go. It's like a weekend job. Building like a 5,000 square foot home. I'm like, dude, what? You're nuts. He's gonna do it though. That's what he says. Him, his dad, and his brother. He built 2 of the homes. Yeah. I don't know. We suck now. That's what I mean. My dad built our house, and I'd be like, oh man, what? Can I just buy one that's? Can you just ship it to me, please? I don't. So yeah, it's pretty cool. He's been preparing for it for years. Even before we got married, he was gonna build a house, and we're like, dude, when are you gonna build it? When are you gonna build it? And he broke ground on it last year, and I think he starts building the actual home this spring. So it's pretty crazy, pretty nuts. He's been saving, but it's gonna be cool if he actually pulls it off. We suck, right, Cal? We suck. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I had an idea to make a circular home and make it like a castle. Yeah. I just want a nice studio. That's my thing, right? That's the next thing for us is a studio in the woods. But I ain't building it. I am not building it. Nope. I probably could. There's enough good YouTube videos out there, but man, I'd be like, you just be so much better at it, right? Hiring someone who really, I'll hire my friend who's building his house. Be like, dude, can you just make my house? Oh, all right. Cheers. Yeah. Cheers to owning a home and paying taxes, insurance, and for new things all the time that you really don't want to spend money on. But in the long run, hopefully it pays off, right? Being an adult sucks. It does. How to Build a House 101. Oh, Zach, I just had dinner with him. I posted the picture on Instagram. We just had dinner, and he was like, you would be surprised how many videos are online. Like, he's been building since he was a kid, helping his grandparents and his parents, build stuff. His dad built an amazing log cabin. But he was like, yeah, how many times when we got something to fix, we're like, crap, go on YouTube and there's a perfect video and you're like, oh man, go YouTube. Let's go. Wait, do you need a permit to build a new house or improve your house and make it bigger? Yeah, toppers. Here, yes, you need, at least in Pennsylvania and California. Even I remember if you remodel your bathroom or your kitchen or whatever, you need a permit for it. For structural stuff, again, especially if you have a mortgage, or a lien on your house or something like that in some way. Everything has to be reported, the city for taxes. So if you like redo the whole inside of your house or whatever, it has to get reappraised for taxes, all kinds of crap. It's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. At least my housing payment doesn't go up. That's so true, Cal. That's so true. That's what I mean. Renting in LA was getting like nuts. I'm like, man, it's like half of our rent if we bought a house. It's crazy. Oh, that's so cool, Zach. They're gorgeous. What was I gonna say? Oh, my dad, like, he's got his sawmill and he builds buildings and stuff on his property, like for, the tractors and bulldozers to keep them dry or whatever. He usually builds a building a year somewhere or adds on to it. And it's interesting how the permits work. Technically, if they're all enclosed four walls, that's like a different thing and different tax thing. But if it's like a pole barn with some of the, it's like it's crazy, but they use Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever. And I remember once they, because my dad will just like build a building and he'll get a permit. The permit's cheap, but like you don't have to go through with it. But if you do, then you have to get it appraised and taxed. And I remember one of the county people came up and they were like, yeah, we saw on like Google Maps you have like 3 new buildings up here. And my dad's like, I don't know, do I? And they were like, can we go check it out? Because, it's the woods, like you can't see anything from the road where my parents live. They're way up, in the mountains. So like drive around and they're like, yeah, no, that one's good because it's like technically a pole barn and because the doors. It was like, it all depends on what you want. But if you are building a home, like a brand new house, you have to have plans that are certified with your county or township. So like when we build a studio, I have to have an architect draw up plans and it has to be approved. So it's structurally sound and follows the guidelines or whatever. And then you have to get a permit to put a foundation and all that stuff. So yeah, you can't just like put a house up wherever you want. It's definitely an annoying thing. So it can be expensive. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's more expensive than building the house is all that other stuff just to get it. What's the word? Get it approved just to build a house on the foundation, right? To get that foundation and all the electric and septic and water and, everything, all the other utilities and driveways and drainage, like I said, you have to go through the environment, EPA stuff to make sure your septic isn't going into like groundwater. It's a whole thing. It's crazy. So that's what I mean. I don't want to do that. I'm like, just please make it okay. A manufactured home. Yeah, some of those tiny homes are cool. They're very cool, actually. They're like, that's all you need. Like for us, we got my boys, like our house is big. And when we moved here, my wife's like, this is insane. We do not need this. But I'm like, they're going to grow. Like they're going to be like these like crazy big human adult boys running around, like stepbrothers. Like in a few years, they're going to fill this up with like just all their crap and, they're going to be banging around. So it's nice to have a place to grow into, at least for us with all the kids, but adulting, right? Sorry. It sucks. It sucks. But at least I get to play drums. That's the plus side. All right, here we go. remember this one's weird. I wrote by it. E-H-H-H in a question mark because I was like, what? I don't know if I'd ever use this one, but let me just see. Slow it down.
That's so weird.
Marvin, what's up? Thank you for that raid. Hi, I hope you had a good stream. Reminds me of Marvin Smitty Smith. Do you know who that is? Hi. Marvin, or Smitty, was the drummer for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno back in like the 90s. I love it. I love it. And I had a teacher in the early 2000s. His name was Fred Dinkins, and he still teaches at MI. He's a good dude, really good teacher. But he was always like telling me about these drummers, right? Like this book, Joe Porcaro. He's like, you got to go. I'm going to give you Joe's number. You got to call him. You got to go take a lesson with Joe. You got to go get his book. I'm like, all right, who? What? I don't, I was like 18, 19. I'm like, I don't know who these cats are. What? I know who Travis Barker is, but like Joe Porcaro, who's what? He's Jeff's dad. Who's Jeff Porcaro? I didn't know. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go over to Smitty's. And then he's playing tonight. So why don't you come on out to Cozy's? And I'm like, what? Who? Where? Like, I'm from Pennsylvania and I'm in Hollywood. And I'm like, I don't know anything. Sean, what's up? With those stroke patterns, I know. I almost fell. And I remember, because I didn't watch The Tonight Show. I didn't, I didn't watch that stuff when I was like a teenager. And I remember, like, you got to think this is like pre-internet. I mean, the internet was around, but like, and I remember we went to, I think it was Cozy's or the Cafe Cardial or however you say it. One of those places he was playing. I was like, wow, this drummer's really good. He's like, yeah. Not really the drummer. Yeah, Marvin, just check him out. Marvin Smitty Smith. And I remember being like, wow, he's really good. I'm like, who does he play for? And my drum teacher's like, you don't even know what's happening. And I was like, what? He's like on the Tonight Show every night. I'm like, oh, that's a job? Like, that's cool. I didn't know they had like bands. And he was so nice. He's such a good drummer. I don't know what he's doing right now. I saw the Pro Drum Shop. I follow them on Instagram. Amazing place. They posted a video with him playing on one of the kits there. I'm like, oh, there he is. There's Smitty. So I wrote a cadence. Would you tell me if it's good or not? Heel, hi. What was that? I just heard something. It felt like something just fell, but maybe. Porcaro, I was actually talking about Rosanna in the Purdy Shuffle. Nice, yeah. Well, I'm playing a book. I'm practicing out of a book. And Sean, it's great to see you, man. Hello. Did you check the music store? Did you get anything to mess around with? This is his dad, Joe Porcaro, amazing drummer. I that's his dad. He's a good dude. A very thick Jersey accent. But this is his book, so we're working out of that. All I wanna do in the middle of the night is hold you tight, like a dropping marble. It could have been one of the cables because the robots are moving. It could have got a cable moved. I don't know. Nothing's on fire, so that's a good thing, right? No fires are always a plus. But I still don't like this one. Apply the drum set. Yeah, I don't like that. I like parts of it, but I would never use that. Metal ball. I don't know. I do not know. God knows what it could be. Could be anything. Oh. All right, we got it. We got a couple more, and we're gonna start 7-stroke rolls today, right? We're living on the edge. We're living on the edge. We're living on the edge. Post the cadence. Yeah, totally. You. I can check it out later. All right, 4-bar solo applied to the drum set. Dun, dun. These are long. 8-bar snare drum solo combining previous variations. Oh, that's right. This one's kind of cool. This is cool. Better than it was. It still sucks though. We didn't do this one a lot. This was with the triplets. This one's kind of cool. So it's this one 16th notes, 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and 2 E and a triple bop. It's kind of cool. Josh, what's up? Hi. Happy Saturday, dude. So far, everyone's healthy, Josh. So far. So far, so good. This is kind of cool. It's 5-stroke rolls, but as triplets. So like triplet, or triplet, triple, let da 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 So it's like triplet, 16th note, straight, triplet, 16th note. So it gives you this weird. That's cool. what's up? Hello. And Punter, am I saying that right? Punter? Hi. Probably butchered your name. Muscle, I sent you a text. Let me know if you got it. And that the beat, Muscle, you ready? Hold on. I'm gonna do it. You could do it on the hi-hat or right? That's the actual beat. Right?
Whoops.
Please cover up the snare. Oh yeah, totally. Here. There you go. Right? Woohoo! Please cover up the snare. I only like snares to sound a certain way. Crusher, yeah, that's Blur song too. Woohoo! And I feel pins and needles. Sir, will you please cover up that snare? Shh, over. I'm banny today. I banned a couple people. Feels good. How dare that snare sound like a snare? First off, how dare you? How dare you? I don't like it that way, right? Good morning, though. If you're just joining, if you're just waking up, have some coffee. Oh, Josh, it was pretty funny. It's good. Well, not funny, but it was fun. Someone came in, requested a song, which is hilarious. Because we don't do that anymore. We haven't done that in like 6 months. And then they said something about like cover up the snare, I think, because they don't like it ringing, my guess. I don't know. I don't want to read that. I don't want to deal with that, you know? I ain't got time for that nonsense. You know, I ain't got time for that. I'm practicing. I wanted to play Blur with an open snare drum, you know? No, we had a lesson last night. Me and Muscle was really good, and Muscle's killing it. He's doing great, but he's doing bass drum independent stuff. So I sent him a paper this morning with some independent stuff and some beats for Blur song too. Plinko, what's up? And Crucial, it's good to see you. Yeah, the snare we are using today, Crusher. Cover up isn't even. Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. That's what I mean. I don't want to deal with that. I don't even want to have a conversation with people like that. It's not worth it. But this is a Tama quilted maple snare with reinforcement rings that I've had for over 20 years. Isn't that crazy? I got this in 2002. Crazy. So 20 million years. So it's a 5.5 by 14 It's actually an orchestral snare drum. It's meant to be a detuned orchestral snare drum, but I think it just sounds fantastic for what we're doing. So, I love it. Da 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 da. To use this week, nice. Are you gonna use them on the kit? Oh, that's gonna be crazy. Whew. That's gonna be a lot. I have what do I have? I have a couple artist models from Vic Firth that they sent me of marching sticks. This is a long time ago. One's green. I think I have like some SD1s. I really don't know. I didn't do marching band, but those sticks are just so big. And I used to have them in my teaching studio, Crusher. So students would come in, and sometimes I'd be getting coffee, right? I'd be out reloading my coffee mug, and I'd be like, yeah, just go in there and warm up. And these kids, these youths, would go in there and grab sticks out of my bag, right? My sticks, because they're punk kids and forgot their own, so they just grab sticks out of my bag. Little filthy monsters. And they would pick up, like the marching sticks and start playing on the drums. And I come in and I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, kids. So all the time, I'm like, what are you doing? And I had these like really nasty like sticks if kids left them or like forgot to bring their sticks. Over the years, there was like a community pair of drumsticks. It was like, all right, you forgot your sticks? You're using those today. And they're all like gross, And they're like, I don't want to use those. I'm like, well, remember your sticks. Can't you let me borrow some? I could, but no. Like, you're gross. You're like a 13-year-old, like, God knows what's on your hands.
You hear that snap? You hear that clap?
Oh. I'm banned. I don't know I mean the sound of snare drum. Yes, thank you for the $1. Hi. But they remember the next time. Oh yeah, usually they did, right? Tough love. It was funny. I used to have my teaching studio had a window, right? So parents could see in, right? You should if you're teaching. And there was a waiting room right outside the studio, right? And it was pretty soundproof. But like you could hear the song that we were playing, right? Like it wasn't soundproof, but you could be in the waiting room, watching, I don't know, SpongeBob. SpongeBob was usually on, right, for the kids. But like you could be, checking your phone or whatever and have a conversation. Like it wasn't loud. But I'm like, if you don't practice, I'm going to make you play an embarrassing song, at that time, that they would be mortified to play. So sometimes we'd put on like silly songs or I'm like, all right, we're playing Barbie Girl today. And they'd be like, no, like the teenager, like that didn't practice, let's say we were working on Slipknot or something. And I'm like, dude, I'm putting it on. And they'd be like, oh man, no. I'm like, you didn't practice. So yeah, Baby Shark, all those like silly things. I got them. It works though. It works. Cause then, the parents and the people in the waiting room are kind of like, they stand up and looking like, what are they playing in there? And I'm like, they want to play it. So yeah, it'd be fun. We'd have a good time. Yeah, Muscle. It's fun. Honestly, my students are pretty good. My kids are running around. I feel like there was only a couple times where I had a couple students that I just really just didn't. They just weren't respectful. They were just rude. I had a couple like that, but for 99.9% of them were amazing. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. When does the Barbie movie come out? I kind of want to see that. I think it's going to be pretty good. All right. Terry, hey, teenagers are. I always had, I always thought of it this way. You know, kids go through a lot of stuff now that I didn't have to go through, but some of the kids I had taught since they were little, right, up until they went to college and stuff. And I could tell when they were having a bad day or something just happened. So it was always usually a goal to have them, if they came into the lesson all like, it was always like, all right. By the end of the lesson, I wanted to be like, oh, like having their head up, smiling. That was always the goal. And it could be from drumming or just talking, you know, sometimes. It was like just to try to turn their day around, because I usually got the students after school. So they're tired, you know, they got all this crap going on. So at least by the end of the lesson, it was like, all right, I want them at least like looking up at me, like smiling, having a conversation, rather than like, so it was always good. That was the play usually, and I was lucky. I had some great students. That's what I mean. It was only a rare occasion where it was like, all right, man. I think I kicked out. I refused to teach, I think, two students over that time. And one wasn't the student. The student was great. It was the parents. Parents were freaking nuts. Like helicopter-y. Like, I'm like, why are you even paying for lessons? You know, because they were like, they would sit in the lesson and I'd be teaching, and it was like, the dad, oh my God, he played drums in high school or whatever. So he was like, yeah, don't you want to teach him this? Don't you want to teach him that? I was like, no, this isn't 1970. Get out of here. You know? And it was just, I was like, I don't want to deal with that. So there's like parents like that are just like, just leave your kids alone, you know? Stop like vicariously living through them. But Hendrik, 10 months. Thank you. Yeah, crucial. It was really, some of them were bad, you know? It was just like, God. The kids don't even want to play drums, but their parents do, or, you know, like, oh, you're going to play drums because I play drums, and oh. And back in my day, if I had drum lessons when I was your age, I would be a rock star now. I was like, would you though? I don't think so. I put some money on that. Oh, thank you. Oh, Hendrik, that's so nice. I hope you're having a good Saturday. I don't feel confident enough to teach them themselves, but they want a modern teacher to teach them helicopter parent. Yeah. I was just like, I'm like, do you want to teach? I think I said that to the parent. I'm like, here, you could teach. Like, I'm like, I'll take your money, but like, why are you here? You know? So, yeah, I think I dropped him and gave him to another teacher. I was lucky when I started teaching. Just like if you're a music, like fresh out of college, if you're a music major or a performance person, you know, making money is hard, right? Because you haven't established yourself. Yeah, it's tricky. So teaching is a cool way to kind of get some income. And I remember I started off, you know, I got hired at this music school, and they're like, well, how much can you teach? I'm like, I'll come in whenever, right? I was living in LA, it's expensive. And they're like, okay, cool, we'll start giving you some students just to see how things go. And I got like, I think I teached on a Friday afternoon, and I would have like two students, and I was like, wow, this is cool, you know? And then like the months go on, and you fill up your time slots, right? And then they're like, do you want to go to another day? I'm like, yeah. So you add another day. And within a year, I was there 5 days a week. I was teaching up to 60 to 70 students a week, all individual lessons. It was great. It was really cool. but what do you call it? It's a lot, you know. That's what I mean. In all those students, that's why I said 99% of them were amazing. But then there's like that one parent, right? But I had a wait list to study with me because I was there for, 15 years about. So like, students would go on, other school districts, the band teachers, percussion teachers would say like, go study with Dan, get on the wait list. So if someone dropped out or moved, like there was always I always tried to make sure I kept a good level of student, right? So if they weren't practicing or whatever, I drop them. I'm like, I don't know. There's someone else who could come in here and take that slot, and if they're going to work for us. So it was pretty cool. I was pretty fortunate enough to have a good group of students, and a lot of them went on to be their professional drummers today, which is very, very cool. It's exciting. Some pop into chat every now and then. Mary, good morning. Basit, hi. How are you? I've been considering online lessons. Yeah, the only online lesson that I honestly would recommend to people, there's maybe 3. 33 months. Let's go. Dude, why wasn't there an alert? That's so nice. Yeah, you got to work for your spot. Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm putting in a lot of energy into these lessons. I'm not just showing up and going, play it again. So if people weren't practicing after, 3-4 weeks, I'm like, it sucks to teach someone like that because you're just teaching them the same thing. But I would suggest the first recommendation is the OG, like the first person to actually do online lessons and become the reason all these other people, I hate to use the word copy, but everyone copied what he did. This is the first place you should go. Okay. That, like Drumeo, whatever. I think Drumeo is like a mega church. They just want to take your money and they bring it in like, hey, check out our cool lesson with, And if you've been drumming for a long time, I feel like those, having Dennis Chambers there or some of the really cool people, those are neat to see. But the Drumeo actually, like, here's how to play drums lessons from Drumeo suck. They're awful. They're terrible. Sorry. Mike's Lessons is one of the best places to learn. And then from there, I would suggest if you like really get a good basis down, like if you're starting drumming or early on, something like that, then find a drummer that you love and then start going in that direction. But Mike's Lessons is a great place to start. If you want to just start with playing drums, or get better at what you have, start somewhere like that. And then everyone nowadays does online lessons or has a website or something. Yeah, Mike's is amazing. Mike's great. Oh man, there's so many nowadays. So what I mean, the pandemic became, all right, I'll open up a drum education site. So pretty much every drummer you love has some sort of online education now, which is cool. But if you want a learning experience with a community support and access to one teacher, Drumeo, there's like, I don't know how many people do lessons. So it's like some of the lessons are just, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's very stock. So I would say check out Mike's Lessons first, Taking an on-tour lesson. All right on. Tell him hi. That's awesome. He's such a sweetheart. I've got their US rig here. I've got all their cabs and stuff right on the other side of the wall. I've got the Monuments USA tour in my basement. It's kind of cool. They're good guys. That's gonna be you're gonna enjoy that, man. This could be a good show. Oblivion High. Do. Yeah, they're doing wait, they're doing a festival or a tour. They just announced a festival, I think, with oh God. I just saw it on Instagram, but that'll be neat. Most drummers on Twitch do. Oh, online lessons? Really? I know a couple do, but like have a platform for it. My thing is, people always ask like, you should do that too. You should do it, and I just don't. It's not my thing. If I'm gonna teach someone, I want to be in the room with them, like that one-on-one. I love that kind of stuff. But Mike has it down to a science, Crusher. So I would highly suggest checking them out. They're touring EU. Okay, right on. Nice. Sometimes I just want a lesson from someone to say, you aren't very good at this. Let's work on that. Yeah. If there's no one where you live to do an in-person lesson, a lot of those sites are going to be like, hey, just watch our videos. That's it. The thing with Mike's lessons, Crusher, is you can record yourself and Mike will review it, and it might be a day or two because he's got a lot of people that he sees, but he does he reviews footage from people and he'll get back to you. He's amazing as far as the amount of energy he puts into his site, filming the lessons, and he's just a great teacher. I think Drumeo has a forum, but you're going to get a bunch of responses from a bunch of God knows if they're really good drummers or not. If you put up a video hey, am I playing my paradiddle right? You're going to get every cook in the kitchen going, well, actually, where if you put it on his site, he's going to respond. And that's what I like is there's one person running the show, instead of who knows who's responding to you. So check out Mike'sLessons.com. He's very nice. If you follow him, he's the real deal. But he's the first online drum lesson, or one of the first online music lesson places ever. So he's kind of like the standard, the gold standard, as they say. What's that from? I feel like my in-ears are being weird today. Leprous and Calandra. I have no idea who they are. I feel like I know Leprous. Did you song request them once? That sounds familiar. Thank you again for that resub, dude. For real. 2-bar solo, 4-bar phrase. Okay, here we go. If you can't do it in person, yeah, I agree. He's fantastic. And here's the other thing. A lot of those places do online lessons to supplement income for maybe they're not on tour or whatever. So they're well, I can make money off of online lessons. They're not really they're good teachers and they make cool stuff, but they're not crazy about teaching. They just do it because they can make money off of it, which is understandable, right? It's another form of income. Mike is obsessed with teaching and getting you to learn the most efficient way. It's kind of weird. Not many drummers that I know want to teach. Does that make sense? A lot of drummers I know have to teach to pay the bills or to buy food or whatever. So they're I guess I'll teach. But most drummers don't want to teach. Mike quit touring, quit being in a band to teach. He's a really good drummer, but he quit all that to focus solely on education. And that's that says something, you know, to me anyways. I think that should be like, oh, wow. So I have a lot of respect for him. He's a good dude. So when it comes to drumming education, you know, he like obsesses over with it. So you're going to have a great experience with his subscription, you know. It's 100%, yeah. All right. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Pray to the drum gods.
Oh, I like that.
Man, that rebound's getting dangerous. I gotta be careful. Hi. What's a fun fill? Da-da-da-da-da-da. I forget this one, but I remember I think I liked it. It's got some flams in it. Ooh, some flammy flams. We're on page 100. So, yeah. I don't know if I like that one. What else did we have to do? Sorry, we're pretty much there. I think we're ready to go on to sevens. Hope a roll, pick up beat. Applied to rock. I don't want to play rock. Seven stroke rough and 7-stroke open roll. Should we do it? Should we just go into it? Should we just start 7-stroke stuff? I think we should. I think we should. We're doing it. Swing jazz. Yeah, this is the way. This is the way. Right? I have spoken. Or what's that dude? You know the I have spoken guy that rides that like cow around? He's pretty crazy. I like that guy. But the Mandalorians, oh, that's coming up. We're getting season 3 in like a month. There's gonna be a lot of this is the way, this is the way. Because he's going back to Mandalore. You know? So there's gonna be a lot of like, this is the we're gonna be like, we get it. We understand. This is the way. All right, let's see. So for day 1 of 7-stroke roll and 7-stroke roughness. It was so fun, actually. Yeah, I would like to. Hello, Addie Babington. Addie Babington. Addie Babington. Oh, I hope I'm saying that right. Hi. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name, I'm sure. You're probably, so sorry. But let's try it. 7 strokes. Better than most? Nice. Can I call you Addie? Is that okay? Addie Babington? Oh, that's cool. I like it. Now it has 30-second notes for slow tempos. 2. Oh man. That's weird. I always played 7-stroke rolls like accenting the last note. This is having you accent the first note, which is kind of cool. Weird though. I never play them like that. So this is good. This is good. A little scary. 7-stroke roughs and open rolls played as 8th note triplets. So here we go into the jazz triplet world. to explain what I'm doing, or a cool way to practice this, is if you play them as singles, right? A 7-stroke roll. If you start with the right, accenting right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you do the next one with the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ba, ba, da, ba, da, da, ba, right? Triple da, ba. It's 3 bars. 1, 2, 3, ba, ba, da, ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, right? Ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba. Sorry, one more. So there's technically 3 in each one. If you move the stickings, right? So if you start with the right hand diddles, right, right, left, left, right, right, left. They're always going to be with the right. Da 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 da. Right, 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 da 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 da. Right, right, left, da 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 da. Right. Then with the lefts, da 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 da. So if you're practicing all doubles right to get over to the left, da 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 da, right? Da, da, you could do a single ba 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 ba, left da 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 da, then singles da da right? You can kind of switch between accents by running through these different hand things. It's kind of cool at certain tempos, so it's fun. The next one is playing them a little displaced, sort of. Seven-stroke rolls and 7-stroke roughs. So the roughs are the singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the rolls are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like the diddles. Yeah. So we're working on these, and that's as triplets. This is as 7-stroke roughs and open rolls played as 16th note triplets. So now we're playing in the triplet 16th realm. That's the thing. You could do it either way, Crusher. You could do them as doubles or singles, right? So the 7-stroke rough is played if you're doing singles, right, left, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And with the same one, same with the left. If if you're doing them as an open roll, that's when you do doubles or diddles. But when you do that, you're going to start with your right and end with your left if you're doing an open roll. Or if you start with your left, you're going to end with your right. So learning like the different stickings and how to move between them, that's what I'm trying to do now. And doing them at different subdivisions. Yeah, fives. That's what we just did today earlier, but you can do them as singles. It's kind of cool to do them on toms. You really hear it. Sevens. So it's kind of cool to think about, but yeah, there's you can do them as singles or diddles, but when you do them as doubles or diddles, it's called an open roll. So if there's 5 notes, it's a 5-stroke open roll. one's hard to do fast. Here's one. Can you do Can you do doubles, but it's staggered as an open roll? What do you mean staggered? Like, I'm not sure what you mean. Anytime you play doubles or diddles, right? That's called an open roll. So, anything like that would be a 4-stroke open roll. 5s, 6s, right? So the sticking is right, left, but you do it as molar overlapping. That's that would be, yeah, no, you have to play the diddle for it to be an open roll. If you're playing that, that's just a single stroke roll. If you're buzzing singles, right, that's a closed roll. Right, so a 5-stroke close roll, you're buzzing, and that's a stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 7. Oh, blades high. It's so hard. I'm struggling. That's what's... It's figuring out, like, all right, how can I get faster? I'm just starting to bring in this finger right now. So we're getting it. Yeah, basically an open roll. Don't worry about molar. Molar is just a technique. That has nothing to do with it. So a closed roll is buzzes. An open roll is clean diddles. So you just add up the strokes, right? So that'll equal the open roll. Or just an open roll. Like if you're rolling for days, it could be a whole note open roll, but that would be a full complete measure of 4, right? So I think open rolls are clean doubles or clean diddles, and a closed roll is buzz strokes. So that'll be a closed roll. There's technically no other roll that I know of. Maybe there's some like hybrid roll thing that DCI has adopted. But if you're talking just the standard rudiments, there's only 2 variations, opened and closed. And sometimes it's tempo dependent. Sometimes an open roll, once you get really fast, just goes into a closed roll because of physics, you know? But with molar, you get right, left, right, light. Like for triplets, out of 2 hits. Yeah, so you're probably releasing or doing something. Yeah. Those would be single strokes, technically. If that's your sticking, that's what you're playing. That's a single stroke. Or it could be like there would be a rough. So that one too. So that'd be a 6-stroke rough, you would call it. It wouldn't be a roll. It'd be a rough. Any singles when you play in a row, right? Right? That could be a triplet roll. That's a rudiment. Is that what you're talking about? That's not an open roll. That's a triplet roll. That's like rudiment number. There's a you have open roll, buzz roll, triplet roll, and then you get into the stroke rudiments. Right? But try practicing that without molar. That's probably what you're playing, right? That's a 6-stroke roll with 2 accents if you're playing the molar, right? If that's what you're doing. Exactly, just a single stroke roll. If that's what you're playing, single stroke roll. That's what it is. You're just accenting 2 of the things. It's just right. Yeah. Can't do it. Yeah, that's just a single stroke roll. Unless it's how you put them into, if you did like, it's 6s or something. But if you're playing them just like going at it like triplet, that's just a single stroke roll and a triplet subdivision, 8th note triplet, right? The more I was taught with molar technique, not with Rob Carson though. That wasn't molar. Molar was really adopted by a lot of drummers in the jazz time, right? It's not a bad technique, but there's some hiccups with it. Crusher, check out a drummer called Dave Elitch. He's a very cool guy. He's a cool guy. But there's a lot of drummers coming out right now saying like molar isn't the cure-all, especially it was great for a lot of like the standard rudiments and some of the things that people were playing before, but it can hiccup you a lot in certain things. Because the molar relies so much on bounce, right? And rebound and control in that backup. Elitch, I think it's like Eilitch. Dave Elitch. He's a sweetheart. Talk about online lessons. He's got some cool ones too. He's a great guy, great dude. But the thing with molar is like that whip motion. It does have this. It's an easier way to play accents in quiet. Thank you, Crucial. Yeah, that's it. Elitch. He's a good guy. Honestly, he's a sweetheart. I would love to study with him in person. That would be a very cool lesson. If I'm ever on the West Coast, David, he's a cool dude. He's all about playing relaxed, and he's a good guy. But the thing with molar, if you talk to like orchestral drummers, I think he played with the Mars Volta for a little bit, but he plays with everybody now. He's like the guy. He's like one of the new hot calls, you know. And he's the drum teacher to the drum teachers. Like Benny Greb studies with Dave. Like that's kind of crazy, right? So you have like the best drummers in the world studying with this guy. He's like, he knows some stuff. He's really, he's a good, he knows what's up. Yeah, Miko. Yeah. Gluke, hello. But his thing was like with the molar technique, when you're playing it, you're relying on that. Right? Like you let the stick go and you're relying on rebound and stuff. And that's okay. That's totally fine. But then you come around to where like Tony Williams, like everyone knows Tony, but Tony played with the back of the hand, right? So he played with no rebound, essentially. Everything was played from his wrist muscles and reflexes. A lot of times when you rely on bounce, you're letting go of the stick. And I use this comparison. It's like if you're driving a Formula One car, you know, like 200 miles an hour or whatever, you're not like going like, huh, like letting off the steering wheel mid-turn, right? And a lot of times with molar technique, it's cool for like certain patterns that are just like very repetitive. But some accents don't line up with the up and down and the, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it kind of doesn't work. And a lot of drummers get really good at figuring out ways around the weaknesses of molar, which I did for years, but still it can go lead you down a path where you just rely so much on that rebound. Again, maybe that's good. Maybe you just like that. But sometimes if you're really trying to get certain things out and control, relying on that molar bounce isn't going to cut it. And as you get faster, the bounces aren't clean, you know? So practicing stuff with molar, but also practice it without it. Even if it's way slower, play each one of those strokes, you know? That's like the new kind of consensus is. Like we've all just been told like, oh, just play molar because that's what everyone did for years. But it's like, you know, everyone played traditional grip for years too. And then we found out it's probably not the only way you have to play. So Dave is doing some really cool stuff when it comes to technique and really helping some people, you know, really open up their control and clarity. So check him out. Fingers more than wrists lately. Nice, Miko. Yeah, it's hard, right? It's hard. But yeah, you look at someone like Tony, there's that, it's a Zildjian. Just type in Tony Williams Clinic. He's wearing like a white, really cool outfit, and he's got his kit, his yellow kit. But he talks about like how he plays like really fast ride cymbal, and it's not fingers or rebound or anything. He says, I don't play with rebound because I don't trust it. Right? Whenever you let go of that stick and you hope that it bounces back in that way that you need it to, instead of practicing a technique where you're practicing, how do I throw this stick to get a good rebound? Why don't you just play the stick and get the good sound that you want? Like work on that instead of working on how to control rebound. And that was his thought, and it worked for Tony, but it requires, I think, a much greater like back end of practice and control to get to that spot. Tony was just insane. But I think a lot of drummers can get good quick results with molar. So that's usually what happens and why it's adopted pretty quickly. But then you kind of hit a wall usually with molar, unless you're someone like, I don't know, Jim Chapin was like crazy fast, but the argument was like, yeah, he could play molar, but the way that he played the kit sounded weird. It sounded kind of wonky the way he played, you know? So there's all kinds of discussions about it. French grip on my left hand. This really shows how weak my left hand is. Oh, French grip? Yeah, it's hard. One thing to do if you want to get better with fingers, with your left hand, practice ride cymbal with your left hand. Because that's how your right hand got good with fingers. It wasn't from here. It was from playing, you know, your ride cymbal naturally goes to a French grip when you're playing with your right hand, right? You go thumb up. I mean, you're not going, I mean, maybe you are, but it's awful. So same thing. You do it on the hi-hat. But a lot of people will practice it on a pad, which isn't bad, but it's like you got to think like, when are you going to use it? You know, usually you want fingers with your left hand. It's cool stuff. But I would check out Dave Crusher, check out Dave Elish. He's got a bunch of videos online talking about this. So like you don't have to, it'd be awesome if you got his course, but There's some great podcasts where he's been a guest on and he talks about all this stuff. And a lot of drummers are coming around to it. Like, that's what I mean. There's people like Benny Greb and, you know, JoJo and like all these great technicians that are like, all right, here's all these techniques, but don't just pick one and say like, this is the way. This is the way. Because Marina High, because there's so many different ways to approach these things. And the Moeller technique is just one tool to get a sound out, you know. So he's kind of like making it okay to be like, hey, you don't have to do Moeller technique all the time. There's some other really cool ones. I saw him at a drum solo one. Oh, did you? Started out with a 10-minute single stroke roll. Oh. Jim was there. Jim was crazy. I took one lesson with Jim, and he came to my college and gave like a master class, and then had like one-on-one lessons with everyone afterwards. And his energy was insane. I'm like, did this guy just like go to the bathroom and like do like a bag of cocaine? And he was old then. He was in his 70s, I think, because he was like, all right, so you want to get a ball. You want to grab the ball. You want to get a tennis ball, and you want to throw the ball. And your wrist is like throwing a ball, and you're bouncing the ball, and you're bouncing on the floor, and you're bouncing off things. And I'm like, where's the ball? What's he talking? And he's like, hey, you gotta bounce it, and then you gotta bounce it, and then you gotta. It was just like crazy energy. It was such a neat guy, but I got nothing out of it because he was just so ahead of like where I was. My left is actually faster, but my right is stronger. Yeah. A lot of Jim Chapin lately. Yeah. Oh, Jimmy Chamberlin. Yeah. Right on. You know, one thing I've noticed out of all our modern, but yeah, what's that, Crusher? It was either 94, 95. Oh man, that's so cool. That was right before he died then, huh? Tony passed away. He had like a hernia or something and went in the hospital and got an infection and passed. Like, so young. It was awful. Jim played, then Dennis Chambers debunked it right after. Chapin came out. He came up out of like that era with like George Lawrence Stone and who's the cat? Like Sanford Moeller, like the Gladstone kind of era. I can't think of the name, but Jim was like one of the remaining like guys who actually studied with Mr. Moeller. Whiplash reference. Oh, can't name a Thomas Lane song. Oh, I can't name one song they have played on. Oh, I see what you mean. Actually, a big band drummer. He played in bands. He could play, but he got really known as like an educator. You know, like he could play, but that's the thing. I know what you're saying, like all these technical drummers who just take it to that next level. I don't think they care about playing on songs and playing in bands like I think most drummers do, if that makes sense. Some of the best drummers in the world right now, Freddie Gruber, no, Freddie studied with Mr. Moeller too, right? Jim and Freddie were students of his. I'm just trying to, I can't think. I don't know, it'll come to me, Crucial. I'm thinking of a name, but I can't place it. But most of like a drummer like Benny Greb, right? Like we all know Benny could go out and play with anybody, but I think he's so interested in his own drumming and sound and his own thing behind the instrument. Like, I feel like when people say like I'm a drummer, like it usually means like, oh, you're a drummer, you play on songs or you play in a band or something like that. But then I feel like there's these cats out there that are 100% drummers. like they could do anything with the instrument. You know, that's what a drummer is, and they've just studied it and just soak up so much and take it to that next level. So you probably don't hear about them and what they play on. They do from time to time, but that's not their focus. You know, someone like Benny Greb is just like, I want to get as good as I can and perfect it, or, you know, I don't think he's really interested in getting on like that Pink tour or, you know, filling in for the Foo Fighters. We all know they could, but I don't think that that's something that would fulfill them, someone like that. Thomas Lang played in a band called Falco or something, or Falcon. I think it was a European rock band. So he came from that era. He was a touring drummer. He played in a lot of bands. Thomas Lang, and then he just loves the instrument. So I think of him as like a drummer. He's an actual drummer. He could do anything. And they put out music that excites them. It's not super popular, I guess. But they focus on themselves and the instrument, and I think that's really cool. I guess I kind of struggle to name Vinny, Gadd, and Weckl songs. Well, Steve Gadd is one of the most recorded drummers ever. Like you should like it. Steve Gadd is like Josh Freese, kinda, you know, like him and Keltner, Hal Blaine, all those guys. Like they played on everything. Vinny, same thing. I think it's era. Vinny was in the 80s and 90s. Like everyone knew Vinny for playing with Sting and Zappa and all that stuff. Now they don't. They've made the money, so they do what's gonna excite them now. You know, Tosh the drummer. Isn't it good that drummers have different avenues though? I don't know who Tosh the drummer is. It's a good thing that drummers don't have to be in bands. It depends. I feel like a lot of drummers right now. Is he like an internet drummer? I think I know who you're talking about. He plays in bands, right? I think I know who you're talking about. He like drums with his shirt off now. I think I saw a Zildjian video with him. The thing with a lot of like the upcoming drummers that you say like, oh, you don't have to be in a band or whatever. I feel like that is a huge limitation into you actually being a decent drummer. Just because you can play along to stuff or whatever in your bedroom doesn't mean you could pull that off in a high pressure studio environment, or, you know, just because you could play along to a perfect metronome or a song, like, can you play with other people? Can you adapt? That's a whole nother situation. And I think a lot of drummers that are coming up now in that era, like they're good, but if you put them in that situation, they would fail instantly. You know? Anna, hello. So I think it's a bad thing when drummers don't play in bands or play with other people. And if they're just playing in their room, you know, it's like, let's say you're cooking for yourself at home and you're making, I don't know, like this amazing pasta and this chocolate 20-layer cake. And it's like, you think it's amazing, right? You think, I am making the best food ever. I don't need to do anything, you know, whatever. But it's like, well, has anyone else tried your food? Or has anyone else, you know, it might look good, but how does it taste? You know, you might have perfected certain things, but I feel like to be a musician, you need to practice it. You need to, part of playing music is, is at least the drums is playing them with other people, or playing them for other people in an environment that it shifts and there's conversations going on. So yeah, I think it's bad if no one just ever, if a drummer just never plays with anyone else. I think that's awful. That's like the worst. So a lot of these top drummers that you've talked about, it's like Gad, and I mean, they've played with everybody. They've played more shows than like I've been alive, days that I've been alive. The experience is insane. So a lot of people now see Vinny and they're like, oh yeah, I saw a video where he just played at a clinic, I guess, whatever. But it's like, no, that guy can play from Chick Corea to, to Sting to, I think he played with, I just saw a video of him sound checking with Shaka Khan, So I feel like I would like to say I love a drummer because of what he played on a song. Yeah. For 30 years, and I'm pretty poor because of it. Oh, you're good. You're good. There's this argument. It's like, if I was always raised, I guess, or taught this, if you're going for that realm of like, I want to play in a band or I want to play with an artist, the goal is not to be noticed, right? To be an accompanist. If you're a drummer and you're playing for, Eric Clapton, like, just do your job. Don't show off. Don't be the center of attention. Just be solid and make it feel good. So Eric can be, singing, doing his thing. Hence, you have Steve Gadd, right? Some of the best drummers in the world, you might not know their names, but there's a reason for that. They were playing to make the song better. Steve Gadd could have easily went out and been like, bah. But I mean, drummers, maybe like 10 drummers in the crowd would be like, woo! Everyone else would be like, yo, shut up! Like, you're ruining the song. So that's how a lot of those greats, why they're so great, right? We all know that Steve Gadd can just annihilate, shred, and play an insane solo. Just go watch old videos of him from even like a year ago. He's crazy good. But like, if you know, they don't really have to prove themselves on a stage or playing on a song. They're playing to elevate the music, not to elevate their egos. My dog is barking. Then yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like Hal Blaine and Jim Keltner are on so many favorite songs of mine that I didn't even know growing up, right? Like, I love the Beach Boys. That's like all Hal Blaine, pretty much, all that old era kind of stuff. But I didn't know who Hal Blaine was till like 15 years ago, maybe. I'm like, wait, so the Beach Boys didn't have a drummer? What? And it's like, no, this guy played on like all these songs, the Wrecking Crew. It's cool to learn that kind of stuff. Or, like certain studios had certain drummers, right? Like Muscle Shoals, right? Like that band. And Hal Blaine on drums, yeah. Because he was good. He was the guy, right? So the thing is, there's drummers who just are playing to elevate music, and then there's drummers, like I said, who I think they just want to drum and be drummy drummers. They're just like psycho about it, and they put out their own music, and they just want to get better at the drums. They're not really interested in playing for other people or whatever. Sometimes they do if they're excited about it, but that's how I see people like Someone like Benny Greb, like he could easily go and just get any gig he wants, but he's really into like his thing. That's kind of cool. Yeah. JR, dude, yeah. Gad's on so many things. It depends on the coast, right? Steve is like New York, right? He's like that cat in London. JR was a little more 70s, right? Like 80s. He's on so many of those, like R&B, all that kind of stuff. I got into a band for their music and found out who the drummer was later. Now it's more like this drummer is amazing. I think drummers are getting a lot more attention now than they used to. That's the big thing with social media. Like, you can find out who these drummers are. Sometimes it was like you look on the back of the CD and you're like, okay. Or the record, you're like, whatever. But now we just see faces and we have more opportunities, I think, to see them now than we used to. You know? Yeah, JR's, he's on a lot too. He might be up there with Hal. I'd be surprised, you know? Him, Bernard, Hal. Bernard says he's the most recorded drummer of all time. He is not. He's been saying that for a long time, which it came out like Hal just played on so many things. Hal doesn't even know what he played on. You know? After Hal passed, they went through and like all these things came up and they're like, oh, he played on this, he played on that, but they would just play songs like 10 a day. He didn't know what it was or who the artist was. It was like, oh, I'll go to this studio in the morning, go to this one the afternoon, and I'll go this one at night, and I'll do 5 songs at each one and do it all again tomorrow. Like, they just played on so many things. So it's wild, right, to think about. And back then, not everything got released, or stuff got released later, or it's wild to think about. The Colonel went to him. He said he's too busy. Yeah. There's a really good interview with Hal Blaine on. I think the podcast is called I'd Hit That. It's a really good podcast, but I think it's like a 2-hour chat with Hal Blaine. It's really good. Yeah, he talks about like working at like a brothel. It's crazy. His story is insane, right? He was working for the mob as a drummer in the club. Like, it's crazy story. How many sounds you saw? Yeah. The endorsement game is different than it used to be, 100%. But that's the thing, is it's the endorsement scenario now is a lot like, I compare it to like record companies and record deals. Record deals back in the day, you got a bunch of money and like you got all kinds of cool stuff. Same thing with endorsements. Those companies had a lot of money to spend, so you get free kits all the time, free stuff. Now, I would say most of the endorsed drummers that you see still have to pay for a lot of their stuff. They might get one kit for a tour, but usually they have to give it back at the end, or it's a backline rig. Unless they're like a huge name. 99% of the drummers that are signed with like cymbal stick companies and stuff, they're paying like a cost, or at cost. There's like different levels of endorsements now, just like with deals, record deals. So you see a lot of people getting endorsements, but they're not getting stuff for free. Maybe a select few, but it's a different era. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. I think it's Keltner now, most recorded. He played on a lot. I still think Hal was like, he just did so much back then, right? Keltner though too, but I don't know. I just feel like Hal was doing that forever, right? It's a web of lies. Yeah. Yeah. So when you see someone say like I'm endorsed with this company, sometimes they do get free stuff. Sometimes there's a limit to what they can get for free. You know, it's not like back in the day. It was like, all right, send me 20 symbols or send me 2 kits. You know, now it's like they have endorsement budgets that are pretty small. I heard this story. It was about DW and Neil Peart, right? So Neil, everyone knows his kits were huge, right? And plus he had like 3 of them for each tour, one for the road, one for rehearsal, and a backup kit. Like they didn't just make one; they usually had like at least 2. And he had like, you know, the gold hardware and all kinds of crazy stuff. But drummers on the DW roster used to joke like, all right, if Rush is touring this year, we know not to ask for anything. Meaning like DW's like whole endorsement budget for the year would go to Neil, right? Basically, unless, you know, you just need like a pedal or something. But they, like, artists knew like, all right, I'm not gonna ask for a new kit because they're just gonna be like, no, not this year. So it all depends on how many artists they have on their roster and the level of those artists, because they're going to support those ones first, especially if they're on a world tour. They might have a European kit, a North American kit, a South American kit. So that's all dependent on region and stuff like that. So, yeah, it all depends. Plus, I don't know. I feel like an endorsement nowadays means more if it's an authentic endorsement. You know, like a drummer or a musician using a thing and endorsing it just because they love it, right? That's how I like to see it. I can instantly tell when people are like, oh, these are the best sticks in the world. I just got endorsed with them. And you go back and look at their old videos or pictures and you're like, you've never used them ever. And all of a sudden you're switching to them and you're like, they are the best in the world because now I say that. It's like, oh, come on. But if I see a drummer who's used, let's say, a Sonar kit forever, you know, like years and years, and that's all you see him with, and then they get endorsed by them, it's like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because they like it. That makes sense. Or if you see someone using like Sabian cymbals on everything and all of a sudden they switch to Zildjian and they're like, I love Zildjian, this is the best. It's like, okay. You don't really care. They're probably giving you a better deal. So, do you think Benny gets a free ride from Sonar? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm sure like he can't just call up and say, give me 10 kits, but Benny is brings them a lot of business. So Benny asking for a kit is probably like yeah, if Benny's playing on a new kit or one of his snare drums, they're gonna sell at least 10 times that, you know. So that's a good investment. But so that's how endorsements are kind of seen, you know. So someone like Benny, yeah, if he says, yeah, I'd like to try this, you know, they'd probably be like, whatever you need. Because if people see Benny doing it, it's a trend and it's going to sell products. So, yeah. But at the same time, it's like, I'm sure he's not just going, all right, cool, I'm going to get all this free stuff from Sonar. You see Benny playing the same kit, right? He's got that same white vintage series kit. That's like his thing. He could easily get a new kit every year if he wanted, but that's his thing. That's like the kit that he wants. Rarely see Zildjian anymore. Yeah, I have thoughts about that, but Zildjian needs to get with the times, I guess is the word, both with marketing, some new names. Like they need to come out with some products that are going to compete with some, like Meinl's killing it. Meinl's like taking over, essentially. I would say Meinl probably sells more cymbals now than Zildjian does. I would or at least they're on par in the world. Yeah, Sabian, yeah. Sabian's less than Zildjian. I got hit up for an endorsement. Of course, I got excited. Only one I get offered a lot. I shouldn't say like all the time, but I've been reached out by a bunch of great companies and they're big names, but I just don't like their stuff. You know, like if all of a sudden I started using Vic Firth stuff, and I was like, guys, I love Vic Firth now. You'd be like, well, what? Why weren't you playing them before? So it's like, you know, I don't know. Just for the sake of having an endorsement, a lot of people do that because they got to validate stuff for them. I get it, but you see it a mile away, you know, when people sign with companies and you're like, really? The ones that it makes sense, you're like, oh my gosh, yeah. Like that totally makes sense. Zildjian, think they're still the only company out there. I think Zildjian makes great stuff. They really do. They make wonderful symbols, but they're relying on the name. And I feel like that's only going to get them so far, just like all the old companies like Ludwig and Gretsch and all those, like when the Japanese companies came over and even like DW started up, they were doing some fresh stuff. And thank God, like the trend for like vintage sounding drums came back with like the alternative rock thing in the 2000s, because Ludwig and Gretsch, those companies were like so outdated when it came to a modern look, a modern sound. They were still putting out the same finishes that they did. They still do, right? Black Oyster Pearl is Ludwig's finish from, you know, so long ago. But like luckily that trend came around and it's cool to have like a vintage style kit. And they've gotten known for a certain sound, which is cool, but they really struggled for a long time to be relevant, right? Because you saw every drummer playing a DW or a Tama or a Yamaha kit back in the 90s and 80s, early 2000s. Paiste is one of those companies that just, they don't care. They do their own thing, and no one does it like Paiste. So Paiste's always going to be fine, I think. Like they're pushing a lot of boundaries as far as like quality control, innovating stuff. Like Paiste's one of those like if you know kind of things. They're going to be fine. Zildjian is they're getting outdone by Meinl 100% all across the board, by artists that they have, content that they put out on a daily basis, and the quality of that content. Meinl just crushes it. They just put out amazing videos that showcase their artists so well, and market their products to be very like, oh. You know, and you see Zildjian and other companies trying to do it, and you're like, guys, just, you can't, you know. But Zildjian have Larnell, JD Beck, among others. Oh, yeah, they've got some great artists, but they don't ever, like, showcase them. You know, they used to do Zildjian live once a year, which was cool. But, I mean, Meinl puts out, like, a new video like once a week at least. Like they're constantly doing stuff to showcase the artists on their roster, and then in turn are just showing you all these different lines of symbols, you know. Paiste guy, but I do love Sonar and Meinl as well. Yeah, that's the thing, they all make great stuff, you know. They're all wonderful companies. They're all making great sounding stuff. They have to be competitive. Like you can't put out crap. But the more that I get into stuff with, you know, before drums all were drums to me. I'm like, oh, whatever. It's a good drum set. It's whatever. But now like a Ludwig sounds a certain way. A Gretsch, Tama, however you want to say it. They do have a thing. And if you know what you're listening for, you'll hear it, you know, especially under microphones and under a microscope. So that is kind of neat to me. Like I'm glad Ludwig didn't start making drums, like exactly like the Japanese companies. And I'm glad Gretsch still makes the weird bearing edge stuff that they do, because it is very like, it's a thing. It's got a specific niche, So I'm glad we have that. And if all the cymbal companies were the same and doing the same thing, it'd be like, ugh, So I do think all this difference of someone will come out with a new product, everyone will copy it, or whatever. I think it breeds some new, fresh stuff for us as drummers, right? Paiste is probably still living off 202 sales in the I don't know. Paiste, no one makes cymbals like Paiste. They are like the Apple of cymbal companies. Like every cymbal out of there is just perfect. They're phenomenal at what they do. Bloom, hello. Endless pontification. So yeah, it's fun to talk about this stuff, right? It's fun. It's fun. Ever changing. But who will... I think like the thing with Zildjian is they got rid of some of their best people that were R&D, and even just like love the company. I think there was a shakeup at Zildjian that kind of, that's one of the things is why you haven't really seen a lot of new stuff out of them, is they got rid of like their best people, and we're hoping a lot of like the new younger generation would step in, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Big Perm, hello. We started 7-stroke rolls today, which was really fun. Where are we going? Artisans? Oh, the artisans, yeah. Well, I mean, there's just an interview with live from my drum room with John DeChristopher. He was VP at Zildjian Artist Relations for the longest time, and then Paul was like head of R&D, head cymbal tester guy, and they let him go a couple of years ago, like pre-pandemic maybe. So I don't know. We'll see. Zildjian's a big company, and if they can't get a profit, it's hard to sustain that big machine, right? So they downsized a lot because sales were dwindling, probably because stuff wasn't really keeping up with what Meinl and some of those overseas companies are bringing to the table. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the long run. But again, Zildjian's one of those names. It's like Fender or Les Paul. It's not just going to go away, but it'll have a weird time, I'm sure, to stay relevant. Designs are maxed out for acoustic drums. If you really think of it, drums haven't changed at all. Acoustic drums haven't changed since I don't know, really changed 50 years. Yeah. It's just like guitars though. Like why change acoustic guitars or electric guitars? They're so yeah, I don't think you'll see a big difference. That's why you don't see a lot of new companies breaking through the mold, because they're coming out with this new revolutionary thing. Companies like DW, we're taking experimentation to a cool place, but seeing like, it's just like, again, like Formula One, like you hit a certain sound or a certain speed, it takes a lot of engineering. It takes a lot of energy to go even just that 1 or 10 miles an hour faster. So like stuff DW does, or Sonar, like those companies that are like so high end, and they're like, oh, we're putting a layer of oak sideways and like bleh. It's like, okay, but it still sounds like a drum. So it's like that's not going to make you play any better. None of the drums that are coming out make you play better. They might sound a little better or give you a certain sound to match what you're trying to do, but no one's revolutionizing like how we play. Yeah. Yeah, Zildjian bought Vic Firth in mid 2000s, I think. Yeah, after Vic passed away, I think, or maybe it was before they purchased them. So Zildjian owns Vic Firth, Reflex pads, a couple other things. Just like DW owns Gretsch drums, LP, PDP, Slingerland. You know, these bigger companies bought up a lot of these smaller ones. That's why it's so hard to sustain them. Right? Like when times were good, everyone was buying stuff, but you know, there has to still be a demand for it. This is going to ask you too? Yeah. John Good is the king of New tung, 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 tung. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like you can, every year they try to market like this new thing. Like, oh, the new wood this year is like, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, all right, that's cool, but it still sounds like a drum. Some of the drum programming stuff is pretty innovative nowadays. Like software, you mean? Yeah, that's a whole nother one, right? Yeah, Crusher, we were talking about that the other day. Yeah, Roland is going to be the new Disney. They're just going to buy up all these companies. Roland's going to be like, we own Star Wars now, and we own, you know, the Jurassic Park franchise, and we just bought DW drums and Lego. Right? Well, it's like, Ludwig is owned by the guy that owns Steinway Pianos owns Ludwig and some other big music company like a horn thing, or I don't know, but like this one guy owns like all these music companies just because he just bought them all, right? Like he purchased Steinway, Ludwig. Wait, DW might own Mooser. Speaking of like mallets, like it's crazy. Like this one guy just owns like all the huge names and like not just drumming, but like violin, piano, horns, drums. I can't think of his name. But that's what sucks about DW is they were kind of like one of the last of the Mohicans, you know, of like drum companies that were still owned and operated by the person who started it, you know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now Roland says like, oh no, it's cool. You just do what you want to do. We're just gonna buy you and you keep doing Roland or you keep doing DW things. But I think a year, 2 years from now, like it's gonna be completely different. Con Selmer owns Ludwig, yeah, but that's owned by the same guy who owns Steinway or something. Like it's like, did you ever look at like who owns Best Buy? And then you step back, it's like it's owned by like these huge companies. Is that his name? Steven Zapp? Yeah, like it's crazy because like Best Buy, Guitar Center, like all these like chains are owned by this one company who's then owned by another company who's then owned by this one guy. It's scary. Premier's drum demise. I really don't. No, I don't. I heard some weird things. I don't know if they're true or not, but yeah, Premier's hasn't been around since what, early 2000s? I think they went away.
And Ludwig is one of those companies that was bought and sold like 2 or 3 times, or maybe more, you know. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, Steven Zapf. I'll have to check that out. But I know someone bought Ludwig before the pandemic. I want to say maybe it was before we moved here, because everyone was talking about it at NAMM. Like, it was weird. Wiki, is that right though? There's some stuff on Wiki I'm always like, oh, I don't know if that's real. Yeah. Does it say who owns Steinway on Wikipedia? I could probably look. Or is that the Steven guy? Zapf. Biggest UK brand. I don't know what happened, but they slowly died. And the good guy from Premier Star British Army. Oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. They put out some cool stuff I've seen. Never played any of their drums though. That's the Steven guy? Yeah. Does it say how he's associated with Con Selmer? See, that's the crazy stuff. It's like, probably owns like majority in all these other companies. It's cool though, because I remember people were worried that when he bought Ludwig that they were going to split it up again and again, right? And same with Steinway, because I think there's 2 Steinway factories, and there was talk about they were going to consolidate stuff, but so far everything's been cool. List of companies is on. Wow, does it say all the other musical companies that he owns or is associated with? Because I know there's a bunch. I don't know if he's just got like a music thing, like, you know, like, oh, I'm just gonna buy all these instrument companies, and he's just doing it to keep them going to be nice, or because there can be like a huge profit in it, you know. I feel like if you've got that much money to buy a company, like no one's buying a music company for profit, you know. Oh wow, he does own Mooser. Okay. Holton, Selmer, Armstrong, LeBlanc. Okay. It's a lot, right? He probably doesn't even play an instrument. Maybe he's just a music lover. It's wild. So I wonder if, like, just from doing like small business taxes, I'm sure like owning all that, you can shift money around. Like, I'm sure that's one of the reasons, right? That's why they were talking about Best Buy and Guitar Center and how they haven't gone under yet. It's just because they shift the debt and move it around through all these companies. Like, ugh, it's freaky. But we'll see. Guys, we might end it today. It was a good day. We're getting oil changes and car inspections today. So I got to go pick up one car and drop off my truck this afternoon. So hopefully we can get them both done today. We were going to do it yesterday, but it just didn't work out. Let's see, put in the Premiere. You made drums. Yeah, that's a lot of people like drums made, especially a lot of the stuff comes from Taiwan, gets a bad rep. A lot of that's made very, very well. Some of the Chinese made stuff has had issues, but a lot of the drums are made overseas now for pretty much all the companies, even DW. The only stuff that DW makes in the US is like the top line. Same with like Ludwig and Gretsch, like the USA Customs, or, you know, certain things. But like Pearl all the high-end Pearl stuff is from Taiwan. Maybe even China, even like their top-end master stuff. It's assembled in the U.S., but yeah, those people. So it's interesting. All the companies, DW used to say like, it costs a little more, but if it's made over here, it's, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with DW for real in the long term. Because I'm not saying Roland's a bad company, but Roland's worried about Roland, So when times get tough, that's the thing. These bigger companies get acquired, but they'll go on the back burner if, certain things happen. So we'll see. Finger, did you get your glasses? That's why they're so expensive. Yeah. Even if like with import stuff, or is that why? Because of having to import materials, maybe. I don't know. That's why I just want to play the drums. I don't want to sell them or anything. I wonder if PDP is a real moneymaker for DW. Yeah, I don't know. DW, their hardware, it's all made overseas. I think that is where they make a lot of their money, is like pedals, stands. That's probably their biggest, because they can sell quantity wise a lot more for less. I would assume that hardware is a big focus for DW. They're a hardware company, I think, moreover than a drum company. Will make you cry. Really? Whoa. Did you get a nice pair though? One that you like? Do they have like a one that suits your fancy? Oh, you're gonna guard those with your life, man. That's one of the reasons I don't want to get new glasses either. Because right now I don't care if they fall or whatever. I'm like, that's fine. But if I got new glasses, I'd be like, oh, don't. Oh. I step on mine. I sit on mine all the time. The cheap part was the frame, right? Oh, that's funny. Well, I'm going to go up, go to the bathroom, eat some food, and then go switch cars. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll continue 7-stroke rolls. Today was a good day. Really was. It's beautiful weather here in Pennsylvania today. Not cold, not snowing, so it's a nice day. Everyone be good. Have a good night. And we'll be live probably around 9 tomorrow. That's the plan. Crucial. You too. Muscle, did you practice that stuff yet, Muscle? Did you try it? You'll wake up your daughter. Like, just practice at like 7 in the morning. Woohoo! That'd be pretty fun. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna practice tonight some more. Probably on the pad. I don't know. We might stream later tonight. We'll see. I love you guys. But be good.